So Hare Krishna devotees. So today we are going to see the 12th chapter. This is the end of the second module, which means Bhakti Yoga is the most confidential knowledge which is sandwiched between the first 6 and the last 6. First 6, Krishna talks about the karma, how you can reach Krishna through karma yoga, and the last 6 through jnana yoga, right? A lot of knowledge. So let's see how he is doing this in Bhakti Yoga. Let's start off with Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Om Anyanatimrandasya Jnananjala Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadatikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Puji. Hare Krishna everyone. So let's go to this 12th chapter, and it's called Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. Why do you call it as service? Because any relationship, the love you show only via service. So that is why Bhakti is called devotional service, right? So let's start. So 11th chapter, it says Drishtam Ichami Te Rupam. Arjuna requests Krishna to show his universal form. And then after seeing the universal form, we all know this universal form is the Virat Rupa. And what is the difference? Virat Rupa is not a permanent Rupam, right? It's a very temporary Rupam. Krishna is not existing in this Rupam ever, right? It is just in this, see, the Krishna is spiritual. Of all the things, the only Rupa which is material, which means this particular Rupam is more associated with Brahma Jyoti, and this does not exist in Vaikuntha planets, right? However, big eyes, big body, these are what some of the people who relate Krishna to the material, right, to the bodily perspective will relish. So they are these set of people who actually pray Krishna in that form. But Arjuna is not that. He's a devotee. So he gets terribly worried when he sees this Virat Rupa, and immediately he stops. He is requesting, no, it's very scary, because that's scary even for the Devatas, because Devatas are also devotees of Krishna. And then since that particular Rupam is gone, the next thing which takes over is the four-handed form, because Arjuna wanted to see it. And then the two-handed form. Now, is it that Arjuna wanted to see because he was doubting Krishna? No. In 10th chapter itself, he said, right? Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, right? So completely Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam, Adidevam, Majam, Vibhum. So he completely agrees. You're the, Purusha, you're the permanent person. However, he wants, because he wants to have a look at that universal form of Krishna. And there are many reasons which you learn in the advanced level. But for now, what you need to know is this is mostly done for him. And that too, he asks as a request. He says that, if you think I will be able to behold, right? And if you like, if you prefer, I will be able to do, then I will have that form. And then finally, Arjuna wants to see two-handed form. And Krishna says, no problem, I'm going to show you the two-handed form so that you can be at peace, right? Otherwise, you are so tense, don't have to be there. So pure bhakti is what is needed to see Krishna. Right, so now we are going to dive into 12th chapter. which is a small chapter. So between 12.1 to 7, Bhakti over impersonalism. So now we saw in the 11th chapter, the various forms and which is the best. We saw the 200 form. Now, which of the energies of Krishna is good? So we studied very clearly initially itself. There are 3 levels of realization of Krishna. The Brahman, right? The energy, Brahma Jyoti, which is the first level of the initial level of realization, which is compared to that of the rays of Krishna, right? The rays. And you have the next level, which is the, Paramatma level. And the Ashtanga yogis actually meditate on that, the form. And, because they, so that's the, that's like, when you ask a child, you'll say, okay, sun rays is coming from the sun. And the actual, the sun disk. So actual personality of God, and which is the highest level of realization, is equal to the sun planet, right? So the knowledge on sun planet is much higher. And the devotees frame in that form. So he's going to explain that. And 12.8 to 12, progressive stages of devotion, right? What are the various stages of devotion? And 13 to 20, qualities which will make one dear to Krishna, endear one to Krishna. So therefore, how do you get closer to Krishna? What are the qualities? What is it Krishna will like? Is what he's going to say. Hare Krishna. Yes, Kali Yuga, people are fools. Not only Kali Yuga, from all yugas, we've also come back and back. Otherwise, we won't be here. Hare Krishna. So whoever wants to read, please have your hand raised. Hare Krishna. Arjuna uvacha evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham khe yoga vittamaha. Hare Krishna.
Arjuna inquired which is considered to be more perfect, those who are properly engaged in devotional service or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very clearly now, as usual, everywhere Arjuna only inquires. So he is inquiring which is considered to be more perfect, those who are properly engaged in devotional service or those who worship the impersonal Brahman. So he's just asking. Now you all know, right? This is light. So all of us have light in the house. So if you ask you how many lights you have, you won't be able to tell in a jiffy, right? You will think. You will tell I have one light. And let's assume the most beautiful chandelier you bought. How long will you talk about the chandelier? You will tell, okay, it's a very beautiful one made of crystal. It's light. If there is AC, it will shake like this. It will shake like that. How much can you talk about that, right? There's only limited, right? Even if you fall in love with the light, you can't be going on. But then just look at this picture, right? Which is also in my visuals, which is also here. How sweet Krishna is, right? You can just go on and on. You can say he's got lovely eyes, he's got a lovely skin. He's always smiling. He's got a very nice body. So you can go on and on because that has a relationship, right? You can tell that I felt like this. And as a soul, we are all in one of the 5 rasas, 5 relationships with Krishna. So this is very important. And this is a picture of Mayapur. We've been lucky to go to Mayapur. I think, Chatterjee, you live close to Mayapur. So it's a blessing. Normally, I always say, the picture always catches more than the eye, because if you travel abroad or any place, even the scenic beauty, what they show in the picture, like the trailer in the movie, is always better than the movie itself, right? So like that, but Mayapur, actually, for the first time, I just realized that the picture is just not even 1% of the actual beauty. If you see Mayapur, and one must see, okay? And I'm saying this personally because Mayapur is one place which I thoroughly relished, right? Hare Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Vesha Mano Yema Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayo Petas Teme Yuktatamamataha.
The blessed Lord said, he whose mind is fixed on my personal form, always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith, is considered by me to be most perfect. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he's very clearly telling, Krishna told that, whoever has fixed the mind on my personal form. So personal form we saw, right, in the 200 form, which is very rare, even for the Devadas, right? And always engaged in worshipping me with faith is considered to be the most perfect. So Krishna is declaring. So why are we confused, right? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, he is telling, the right way of worshipping me is the 200 form. And let's see what he says in 12.3 and 4. Hare Krishna. Read, ma'am. You have to unmute.
But who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in welfare of all at last achieve me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can I request everyone to go on mute? I will also mute once, because I think there's some disturbance when you're not talking. So keep yourself on mute. Hare Krishna. So he's saying those who worship the unmanifested. Unmanifested means what you can't see. That is beyond what you can perceive, because Krishna is beyond what you will be able to perceive or conceive, and fixed and immovable, right? And impersonal conception of absolute truth is the light, the Brahma Jyoti. By controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such person engaged in the welfare of at last achievement, right? What he says, anyone who believes in the Brahma Jyoti, right, the impersonal conception, they will also achieve. It's not that they won't, but they won't achieve immediately. They're going to achieve at the end, right? Because after many, many births, they will understand my powers, what he is saying. Hare Krishna. Klesho adhikataras tesham avyakta shakta chetasam avyakta hi gati dukkam dehavadbir avapyate. Hare Krishna.
For those whose minds are attached to unmanifested, impersonal feature of the supreme advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always who are embodied. Hare Krishna.
He's very clearly saying for those who minds are attached to the unmanifested, that is on the Brahma Jyoti, right? The impersonal feature, it is going to be very difficult for them, right? Because it's very difficult to concentrate on a light. How long can you connect to light, right? It's, as I said, right? Even as a tube light, I was just giving an example. How long, how much can you talk? Now, we see each chapter, we have an hour and we are really running short, right? We just like really, really rushing. We're just having a very, not even a trailer, we're just having a teaser of Bhagavad Gita. But if you are going to, talk about light, I think beyond 5 minutes, I won't know what to talk, and neither will you be interested to hear, right? So that is why, as I always say in the Ishopanishad also, he's singing, Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pilitam mugam tatvam pushana pavrinyu satya dharmaya drishtaye. Please remove the Brahman effulgence. I want to see your beautiful face, is what the devotees are praying. Even though Brahman effulgence is his light, the Brahman effulgence is in turn covered by, gets covered by Maya when we are coming to earth. But still devotees don't want Maya, don't want Brahman effulgence, they want Krishna. And how does Krishna personally deliver? He is going to tell here. Hare Krishna. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matpara ananyena eva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate tesham aham samuddartha mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nasirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Hare Krishna.
For one who worships me, giving up all his activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, who has fixed his mind upon me, O son of Pratha, for him I am the swift deliverer from the ocean and death. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very beautifully saying, for those who worship me, right, who gives up the activities onto me and being devoted to me, right, without any deviation, without unalloyed bhakti, right, no chanchala, no shaking or anything, and engage in devotional service, right, and meditating on me. Such a person, I am going to swiftly deliver. So he says, I am personally going to come and deliver. Gajendra Moksha, right, is one more example where elephant actually went to do devotional service. He went to pick up flowers for Krishna and he got caught, though it was during distress. But Krishna personally, we saw 4 set of people approach him, right? Artha, Arthati, Jignashu, and what is it? Artha, Arthachi, Jnani. Of that, even though Jnani is closer because he has no purpose, still he does Artha, right? He's a distress, right? He does not show any difference. Krishna personally delivers. So in Gajendra Mokshan, he came for Yusanartya. And same way Dhruva came for as an Artati. So he personally came to deliver. So therefore, it is absolutely fine to deliver it's absolutely fine, irrespective of whatever you need, as long as in your faith, Krishna personally comes and delivers. All he looks is that little look of ours towards him. Mayeva manamadas swa, mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivashishyasi mayeva, ata urdvam nama samshaya. Hare Krishna.
Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always, without a doubt. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna is telling that just fix your mind upon me, right? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is who am I? I am the Supreme Person. So engage your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. So this is the Ananya Bhakti, which is the first stage. We always say that, we have a plan A, otherwise plan B. We have only plan A and B. Just now from this shloka, just keep observing. Krishna is going to tell A, B, C, D. Something you have to do. So Ananya Bhakti is an example of the gopis, gopas, everyone, always constantly they're thinking of Krishna. And Krishna has anxiety. You know why? Because he is concerned, oh my God, I have to protect them. They're just not bothered about themselves. Huh? What can I do? They have to take care of themselves. Krishna says, they say, I don't care, Krishna. You're there. You're going to take care of me. Why should I even bother? Is what they are saying. 12.9 Hare Krishna. Atta chittam samadhatum na saknosi mai sadashtiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichaptum dhananjaya. Hare Krishna.
My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulated principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. Hare Krishna.
Oh, my dear Arjuna, okay, why do you call, why is Arjuna called Dhananjaya or winner of wealth? Because for yagnas, he used to go place to collect funds from the various kingdom. Now he is telling plan B. We saw plan A, right? Always think. He's saying, okay, if you can't fix your mind upon me without deviation, which is very difficult for people like us. When we do one time chanting Hare Krishna, oh my God, what should I do? Office, Hare Krishna, oh my God, I have to study right there and give exam. Hare Rama, oh my God, the new movie released, right? So one mantra itself, we will jump. So he's telling, okay, if you can't fix the mind upon me, then follow the regulatory principles of Bhakti Yoga, right? So we know he's telling just follow the Bhakti Yoga. In that way, you will develop the desire to attain me. At least you will get that feeling that you have to attain me. So he is telling, so which is sadhana bhakti. What is sadhana bhakti? You do everything as a process, right? Like how you get up and brush your teeth, wash your face, go to the restroom, go take a cup of milk, and then open your book and study, or whether you take your book and go to school, right? Now COVID times, I think things have changed, but otherwise, you do it as a practice, right? So sadhana is also like that. He's just saying you do it as a practice. Now he's going to tell, oh, very difficult. I can't do all that, right? So for us, he's going to give option C. Abhyase apyasam mortosi matkarma paramo bhava madartam apikarmani kurvan siddham avapsyasi.
If you cannot practice the regulation of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. Because by working for me, you will come to perfect state. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now what is he bringing? Naishkama Karma Yoga. Can you see Karma Yoga? Naish, without desire, without attachment to the desire. He's saying, okay, I understand Bhakti Yoga. Ananya Bhakti is very difficult. Agreed, no problem. Even Mishra Bhakti, mixed Bhakti is very difficult. That is Sadhana Bhakti, that also is difficult. Agreed. Plan C we have is Neshkama Karma Yoga, give the results. Now people like us will tell, oh, no, that is also very difficult. That's asking for too much, I can't give off all the results to you. Little bit only, maybe I will think of. So for that, let's see what he's giving. Option D, Hare Krishna. Yad karosi yad asnasi yad juhosi dadasi yad tad tapasyasi kaunteya tad kurushva madatpanam.
O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. Hare Krishna.
So very clearly he's telling that whatever you do, right, any austerities, whatever you do, at least, give it to me. And Krishna's bumper offer, I always tell you, he will never eat. He will eat, but the quantity doesn't come down because he can even eat with the eyes. That's a specialty. So this is, what? Yeah, Sakama Karma Yoga. So he's giving all options, right? Sakama is coming up, right? So what is he saying? He's just telling, oh, son of Kunti, all that you do, all you eat, all just offer it to me, before you take over. And he's just going to bring in this concept. Hare Krishna. Ate tadapi asaktosi kartumadyogam ashritah sarva karma palatyaga tata guru yathatmavan. Hare Krishna.
If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sakama Yoga. So what is he saying? He's telling about the little Krishna. See, these days birthday means what do? We take gifts. Hey, where is my gift? Give me the gift. Give me the or party. All this we talk. But those days, if it's a birthday, they used to give to people, especially Brahmanas. So Nand Maharaj, this is Janmashtami of Krishna, and he used to give 1 lakh cows on his birthday, and just not the plain cows. He used to give them completely jeweled, decked up. Not just the child, even the cows are decked up. And he gives them as in charity to the righteous Brahmanas. So you're unable to work in conscience, then try to act, giving up the results, right? So at least do Sakama Karma Yoga is what he's telling. Right? Look at the level of compromise in Krishna. Now he's telling, okay, that's also difficult. Now he's going to the next thing. Hare Krishna. Shayo hi jnanam abhyasa jnana dhyanam vishishtati dhyanat karma palatyagas Tyagachatir Anantaram. Hare Krishna.
If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is the meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. Hare
Krishna is very clearly telling, if you can't do this practice, then engage yourself in knowledge, jnana. Because whatever said and done, even though better than knowledge, meditation is there. And better than meditation is renunciation of fruits. We saw, right? Neshkama was better. Then at least Sakama was better. If you can't do, at least do Jnana Yoga. Right? Because by that, at least, you'll be able to attain peace of Jnana. At least focus on Jnana, if not Dhyana. Right? So he's telling first Dhyana, that is meditation. Right? And if you can't do, like previously he said, Sakama. And after Sakama, he's telling Dhyana, right? At least develop the knowledge. Jnana, but better than that is meditation, which is dhyana. So dhyana comes first and then jnana. So he's giving both the options. He's telling at least do this or that is what he is telling.
One who is not ambitious about, who is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, who is free from false ego and equal both in the happiness and distress, who is always satisfied and engaged in devotional service with determination, and whose mind and intelligence are in agreement with me, he is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One who is not envious, but who is a kind friend of all creatures, right? So we know who, the envy means like, I like something in you, but I don't like the fact that you're having it, right? And who does not think him as a proprietor. We saw this Isha Vasha principle, right? All the time. Isha Vashamidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagat Yam Jagat Tena Tiktena Bunjita Ma Gritah Kashyas Viddanam, which means Krishna is the proprietor. He does not have ahankar and he is very equiposed, whether in happiness or distress, right? Is satisfied. Example, Sudama also. Engaged in devotional service with the mind and intelligence fixed in him. He is very dear. So he is giving all the option, but he's also telling who is very dear to Krishna. We need to know, right? Who is dear. So he's telling who is non-envious. That's a first quality, and who doesn't think he is a proprietor. And now he is going to talk about Krishna's thing. While we are going to read this, someone can type what is this pastime. This is a story, right? So I just want you all to type in the chat what story this is. Hare Krishna, you can read the meanwhile 12.15.
He is for whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anxiety, who is steady in happiness and distress is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
So this is the story of Chitraketu, and Chitraketu actually is flying right in his place, and he goes into various places and he sees here. Can you see Shiva is talking about Vishnu to Narada and all the saintly people, and the time Parvati comes and sits on the lap. Today it's very common, right? Girls sitting on boys' lap, laptop and all, but this is not about today. It's generally, these are not practices which are followed. But over there, people are so saintly, so they don't even care about it. And Chitraketu sees, he doesn't see in a wrong way, but he just feels it's a little different, right? So he just sighs a bit. And at that moment, Parvati Ma sees, while Shiva understands, he perfectly is there, Parvati gets angry because the way he just gives a half smile, she gets angry and curses him to be a demon, right? And whereas, and later he doesn't ask. Chitraketu is such an elevated soul. He's a devotee and he could have asked for counter. Instead, he will very happily accept. He will say, okay, I will take it. And, he will agree and he will say, no problem, I'm going to take it. And as your blessing, and he will thank, and she'll feel very bad about it. But also there will be a reverse benediction that Chitraketu will be having liberation through Krishna. Even though the curse is there, it's like a blessing in disguise. So that's what he's saying. So such a person who's not disturbed by any anxiety, who's not at all anxious, who's very steady in both happiness and distress, is very, very dear to me. So Krishna is saying that. And this is the same thing which we read here, right? So that's that's the same thing which is written here. Now let's read 12.16. Hare Krishna.
A devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and who does not strive for some result, is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
It says a devotee who is not dependent on ordinary course of action, right? He is just not bothered about any ordinary course of action. He's not bothered at all, right? And who's a pure expert without the thing. Free of all pains and does not strive for any result. Basically, he does action in inaction, which means he does action without expectation of any result. And such a person is very dear to me, is what Krishna is giving the guarantee. This is again Sudama. He is just not dependent at all. Even though Krishna is his close friend, he could have gone and asked him for something, right? But he never bothers at all. So that is a speciality. And Krishna still continues in 12.17. Before you continue, can anyone guess who this is? The small boy? Any guesses?
Prahlad.
Very nice. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes, it's Prahlad. And Prahlad is tormented just by the father. Imagine for the 5-year-old child, the father is his life, but nothing stops him. 5-year-old also, he's a jnani, right? He's coming in that level and he's one of the great 12 Mahajans. So his name is there, which means very elevated soul, and that's his speciality. So let's read 12.17. Hare Krishna.
One who neither grasps pleasure or grief, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things is very dear to me.
Hare Krishna. So he says one who is neither grasps, right, pleasure or grief, happy, pleasure, nothing in fact. So don't bother at all is what he is saying. He says that you don't have to renounce. He is not worried about anything, right? Whether it's auspicious or inauspicious, and somebody who's very dear, such a person is very dear to him, is what Krishna is telling us. So let's read 12.18 to 19.
One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equiposed in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infame, who is always free from contamination, always silent and satisfied with everything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in the knowledge and engaged in devotional service is dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You're reading so well. Just have a sip of water. Hare Krishna. So one who is equal to friends and enemies, very tough. There's a very nice saying. We always tell, I will forgive and forget you. And then you'll tell, do you remember so many days back, so many years ago, I forgave and I forgot also about it. Hare, if you've forgotten, then why are you talking about it? Huh? So this is what it is. So we think we are equal, but then we are not at all equal. We are thinking we are going to position both and pa. But we won't, because for us, there is a difference. There is no way we will be able to treat a friend and an enemy together. I personally feel I will never be able to treat both a friend and an enemy in equal level, right? Same way, dishonor and honor. Okay, now I'm going to, let's say, if I'm going to call and tell, hey, Nitya, you're very silent, you don't talk. Okay, I think you're not at all interested. You think Nitya is going to keep quiet? Or if I tell Mukherjee, what are you doing? You will immediately feel very upset or angry or somewhere, right? So these kind of things will happen because we are very human and we are we are connected more to the body. So we won't be able to give away all this. And that is what matters a lot. So fixed in knowledge and engaged in devotional service, right? Whatever happens, I will engage myself in devotional service. This picture behind, can anyone guess whose picture? I think I've already told the story. Can anyone guess? Okay, keep guessing and I'll go to the next slide. 12.20 is a final thing. It says, he who follows this imperishable path of devotional service, who completely engages himself with faith, making me the supreme goal, is very, very dear to me. So he says that this particular imperishable path of devotional service, right? It is not going to perish. It's a permanent thing and completely engages with faith, right? He has so much of faith. And making me the supreme goal and makes Krishna as a priority is very dear, is what he is saying. He's saying such a person is extremely dear. So he is very clearly telling. So going back to the previous slide, which I told, this is Amrish Maharaj, right? And this story I will tell at the end if we have time. This is a story also of Surdas. Make a note of these names. So if you remember, then during these days, I will come with the story. So that's Krishna. Very clear telling. So 7th, 12th chapter talks about what he's telling: plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. You have to pray in this fashion. If you can't, so first, before that, he says, what is the comparison between whom should you pray? Impersonal and Amrish and Tubasa. Personal and person. He says, no, you have to pray me as a supreme person. Person is very important. So that is one. And the next thing, what does he say? He also says that after that, the ways in which you can approach, how can you become dear to me, right? So if you need, if I'm going to come to your house, you would like to check, right? Ma'am or Mataji, what would you prefer to have? Would you like to have juice, or would you like to have coffee or tea or milk or what, right? Because you need to know. So likewise, I need to tell you. So likewise, Krishna is asking, right? So he's telling what he wants. He says, you do this, it's dear. No, then be. And finally he says, at least this you do. Then he says, finally, somebody who is very close to this and someone who takes everyone equal pose and does devotional service will come to me. So beautiful, right? So that's very nice. Hare Krishna. And with this, we will end the 12th chapter and module 2. Tomorrow onwards, we are going to the jnana, right? We'll go into the technicalities. Hare Krishna. I saw your messages, all nice. Thank you, Amrish. Yes. Mukesh, Mukherjee, I didn't understand. Can we try this if we are in danger? I didn't understand what you meant. So maybe you can unmute and explain.
Madam.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, madam. If we are in danger or any bad place, if I told Krishna that help me, will Krishna help us in that situation?
Hare Krishna. So there is this saying in English also, right? God helps those who try to help themselves. So if you're in danger, it's not that Prahlad didn't try. He was too small. At 5 years, he won't be able to oppose so many people. Right? Neither Arjuna or Yudhishthira sat with their hands folded and said, okay, you fight, I'll watch. No, everybody took them, even when Krishna was there, right? So what does Krishna always tell? He tells fight. He never told Arjuna, okay, don't bother, sit down. I'm not a charioteer, I'll fly the chariot and I'll kill everyone. No, he says you have to fight. So always Krishna wants to fight. And now I told you about Surda's story, right? So tell me, Surdas, Tulsidas, remind me. If I have time, I'll tell you at the end and that will also answer your question. So the answer is, we have to fight. If you see Draupadi also, she was fighting till the end, but only at the stage when she could not trust anyone, she counted completely on Krishna. And that was a stage she knew she can't do anything. That is the stage she gave up, right? And even for a small thing, Yashoda Ma tried. So the Damodar Ashtakam, Damodar, right? That means a thread. And 2-inch Yashodama is short. The 2-inch, 1 inch is the effort. The effort you put is 1 inch, and the other 1 inch is the mercy of Krishna. So whatever effort you put, you can't knot him, right? So it's that 1 inch which is your effort, right? And the other 1 inch is the mercy. So depending on that extension of 1 inch which you're willing to do, Krishna will get a mercy. So yes, so if someone is coming to attack us, you should not tell Krishna and stay. You should fight. So that is what he is saying. So Mataji and Prabhuji means, Mataji means treating every lady as a mother. So even here we say, no, in Bharat bunch, every man thinks, he should think, except his wife, he should think everyone as a mother. Same concept. So irrespective of the person, even if the child is small, you address the person as Mataji, treating that any female form, you treat her like a mother. So that is Mataji. Prabhu means respect form, right? Prabhu, you even tell the great devotees, Prabhu, it's more. Ji, Mata, you don't tell, you tell Mataji. Prabhu Ji is not required. You can tell Prabhu, right? Prabhu is how you address the men. Swami, the same concept. So now, before I take you to science and spirituality, this is a donation appeal, and this is from Shri Shri Radha Govinda temple, and these are our deities. And after 20 years, they were in a 3 BHK kind of a house, and we are now building a temple. And can you see, this is a huge land, and we finally are going to have this. This is the day of Bhumi Puja, and this is our temple president. You can sponsor even a brick which costs 1,500, go up to 10 bricks. So the minimum amount is 1,500 if you want to give a brick away. Same way, if you would like to sponsor a square feet, it's 5,000. You can go 10 square feet, so obviously 50,000. And what are the benefits also? If you are an international life member, the cost of that, along with that, you get Bhagavatam free. And what they also do is, this is internationally valid at reduced special rates in various ISKCON temples. You can stay for 3 days, right? As I said, Bhagavatam kit is free, and this is about 35,000, which you can take in installments. And special puja is done on the birthdays of the patron. Amount is this only, 35,000. Installments. And this in the temple, this is called Dharma Karta Seva, where you can pay over an installment of 3 years, a lakh of rupees, which includes, life membership free and VIP pass for the important functions. Same way, you have a MIFE membership and you can pay over installment, and you will also have your name in the wall, on the spiritual wall. Right? And this is the image of the temple which they're drinking, bring in the South Indian concept. And if you would like to be the Mukhya Dharma Adhikari Seva, it is 5.4. It's again payable. You have VIP pass, you get a life membership, your name goes on the wall. And this PDF, I will forward it. You can share it with your parents. This is totally optional, and it is one more Maha Mukhya Dharma Adhikari, which is a 10 lakh. And the sevas can start as small as 500 rupees. If you can see now, it's a one-time investment. We do not charge for the course. Donations are not compulsory, they are voluntary. Whatever you can, if you think you can afford, or you can mobilize, that will be great. Just thought, we will share. And how do you do? You can do it through any of the links. We've also updated the link in your settings, right? If you still have a challenge, you can always write to namadas@gmail.com, right? Especially for devotees who are abroad. Monthly commitment for the seva also, some of them can, as I said, Raj Boa, for a day is 500 rupees. And, all this kind of sevas you can do. Pushpa Alangar is basically entire god deity flowers. Right? Yoga is food, right? So all this kind of seva, right? Kheer. So all these sevas which you can do for the month for Krishna, so which you can do. So these are things which I thought I can, request you all. As I said, there's no compulsion. If you can't do, you don't have to stretch. You don't have to fight in the house. But if it is possible, please go ahead and do. Don't think about the amount. Whatever you can is what the intent is more important than the content, right? When it comes to Krishna, the material world, content is important. So let's dive into science and spirituality. Are you all ready for science and spirituality? Hare Krishna. I'm waiting for the chat.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let me go green for the science and spirituality. And there are some messages. What is life membership? Life membership is you are going to pay the 35,500, where you will be like like a life member. Wherever you go in the world, you have, one is Bhagavatam Kit, which are the 12 cantos, 18 books. The cost of that itself approximately is 8,000 rupees. And besides that, you have subsidized prices in any ISKCON temple anywhere in the world if you want to stay, right? And obviously on your birthday, there's a special puja also done. So now diving into science and spirituality. I hope there are no more questions. If you have questions. Yes, Anuja, I change it according to the topic. Yes, Hare Krishna. Science and spirituality. So I thought, give a little greeny effect because he's also sitting with green color. So
Hello, you are not audible.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I think I lost the connection. Rekha, can you make me the co-host so that I can screen share? Make me the co-host. So now I will start. So very quickly, we saw this, right? So what is the difference? We saw about the day you're born and the day you find out why. We really need spirituality. We saw all these contemplating. Just wait till the last day, you'll have answers for all of it. Prior to that, externally visible differences between science and spirituality. Externally, both, first we are talking about differences. So therefore, so whatever it is, so let's see what are the things. So basically, science needs a lot of focus. Spirituality also needs a lot of focus. Though we see they are different, medical school, we feel there are a lot of books in spirituality. There are no books. Look at the books. You're on and you have to study more. Now, can anyone guess what university this is? Right? Someone can guess this also. Yeah. So yeah, that's right. So this is Tirupati. That's also same. So now this is someone which you can't believe. Can you guess who the scientist is?
Albert Einstein.
Ah, perfect. So Albert Einstein. So can you guess who this Prabhuji or Swamiji is?
Ramanuja.
Sorry?
Ramanuja.
It's not Ramanuja. It is Madhavacharya. Right? We are coming in the Madhavendra, Madhavacharya Padamare, right? So they look exactly, they look very similar though. All sannyasis look alike. So now this is space launch. So you can see the crowd. And this is Ratha Yatra. See, there is so much crowd for a spaceship launch. And can you see there is more crowd for Ratha Yatra? This is Jagannath Puri Ratha Yatra every year. The advent of science. Newton discovers the law of motion. Maxwell discovers electromagnetism. Einstein postulates relativity and Planck postulates quantum theory, right? So you know a lot of things which, so Isaac, we know about him. He is known for Newton mechanics, universal gravitation and calculus. Newton's law of motion, right? So all this is what we are speaking of. The most beautiful system on the planet. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Sorry, just 1 second. Yeah, you can read this one.
This most beautiful system of the sun, planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much. So he's very clearly telling the most beautiful system of the sun, planet, and comets could only proceed from the council of domination and intelligence and powerful being, right? And yeah, also I need just hold recording for 1 second. Just give me 1 second. So we are, I don't know whether it started or not recording. Okay. So Mark called Planck. So most sensible theory which was invented is Planck. But the problem is, I think it's over 100 years, quantum physics, but nobody really understands what quantum physics is all about. For religion, God is at the beginning. For science, God is at the end. That is only Max Planck's story. Right? The advent of technology, television and entertainment, we all know this, aerospace, computers, internet, cell phones. This is another video, but I'm not going to show you because it's like all your ad in the TV, so you all know better. This one has lots of videos, but this is the positive sides of science. But there's also a negative side of science, which you're going to see, right? All these, we all know about pollution. We all know about, there's this little bird called sparrow. Does anyone remember? I think when we were all little, we saw this bird called sparrow, at least in Chennai, which is missing. And it's a very tiny, cute bird, which they say now that, you know, because of whatever wire which is put for cable, it can't take the radiation. So it's almost dying. So this is the actual situation. Half the life species are extinct because of us. Now, Stephen Hawking says humanity just has 100 years left, though Kali Yuga, right? You all know the life in Kali Yuga, it's 4.32 years, right? So 4.32 million years of this years, 100 years may not be true, 5,000 is over, but 4.27 is remaining. But that's not a solution. It's just going to be a small, very small chip. So it's going to be a challenge. Now, this is a very nice thing, right? So it's an adopted mother. So that's the situation to it. So now if you look at the modern world, ecology, the environment, super disasters are no longer a doomsday. They are an imminent reality. It's too real, right? These days, this is really happening. I know it's 4 o'clock, but I'm just going to exceed the time, another 10 minutes, if that's okay with you all, because it's a Saturday. So hard look on the modern environment. We saw this, and violence. Today, deaths due to war in the 20th century are 7 times than the deaths due to war in the previous 19th century combined. Right? Rates are spiraling. And now mental health, a lot of people are suffering with stress, depression, hypertension, addictions, and suicides. Our family, we know the amount of marriages, what went wrong, divorces are more. The capacities of science to disturb the universe has far exceeded our capacity to remedy the disturbances we have caused. That's the actual problem. Right? Hello. Video. I'm going to show it at the end. But all I can tell is we live in an age of misguided missiles and guided missiles and misguided men by Martin Luther King. So what is happening in the level of our life? Physically, we are more blessed with more locomotives, but there's no fresh air. Psychologically, there's no more entertainment, but there's more addiction, more ailment, more loneliness, more suicide. Economically, there is a lot of industrialization, a lot of congestion. Ecologically, there's thermal power, all of it we also see global warming. Medically, better sources, but unhealthier lifestyle. So this is a very beautiful thing. Hare Krishna. And go ahead and read this one.
I used to think that top environmental problems were biodiversity loss, ecosystem collapse, and climate change. I thought that 30 years of good science could address these problems. I was wrong. The top environmental problems are selfishness, greed, and apathy. And to deal with this, we need a cultural and spiritual transformation. And we scientists don't know how to do that. Hare Krishna. Gaspet, US advisor.
Hare Krishna, very beautifully read. Thank you. So very clearly what is happening, right? So we are talking about science. Science is creating a lot of trouble, right? and has created trouble. But the point is they were hoping they'll be able to fix it, but the damage they caused is so much that they are unable to fix. And this is told by the scientist himself. And most of these scientists are believers. So we're talking about quantum physics, 100 years old riddle, but it's unsolved. But this quantum physics is very important. So this is a point I was very interested in talk by Dr. Ravi Gomatham. So because he showed by some nice arguments a proper way to think of quantum mechanics is in terms of relationships. This is a new way of thinking. It means that this is how we should be doing science. So how, right? The new relationship. So this science enters spiritualism, right? How science enters spiritualism is what we are going to talk. And quantum physics leads us to that. So we are going to get into quantum conscious studies. This is one area which out of the 125 questions unanswered, consciousness is one more which is not answered. With this, let's pay our obeisances to Shishi Radha Govinda, and I will pause. But we will pause the, 1 second, wait. I have one video to show you all, just 1 second. Vancha kalpada rubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. So today, is the 12th day we will chant, and tomorrow we will start with that video, and then I will continue the session on how science invents, right? And how science enters spirituality. So I need somebody to do the chanting. I think looks like only Rekha is going to do the chanting, or Anuja, whoever wants can do the chanting. Today is the 12th day, so 12 into 6, 72, right? Please go ahead and chant, and I'll go mute. Hare Krishna. Rekha, you can stop the recording, ma. Thank you so much.